Okay, so today we're gonna calibrate this Mitsubishi. Let's see, it's a CR35308 from 1997. We're gonna use this 240p test suite again on the Dreamcast, and yeah, we already did the Sony, and I already loaded this game. Yeah. Anyway. Let's go into the first test here. So first we'll do this pluge, or however you pronounce it. It stands for Picture Line Up Generation Equipment. But yeah, so then you can see here. If you saw my other video, this might be a little bit of repeat, but yeah, you push the start button here, and then it will pull up this help menu. Yeah, so you can see what it says on here. Yeah, but basically what we're gonna want to do is, so I've got the remote here. Actually, hold on, let me change the white balance real quick. Okay, there we go. I just adjusted the white balance on my camera, so now the real world looks more orange, but now the screen looks more accurate to what you really see in life. So yeah, the whites are white instead of blue. So anyway, we're going to take this remote and let's go into menu, go down to select AV memory, and then it says here cancel is to reset, so we're going to push this cancel button here. So yeah, well first let's go into it. So I've already kind of set this before, so I'm going to hit cancel, just reset everything, so you can see it turned the contrast way up. And that's actually good for this test because that's what we want. So yeah, so when you're doing this test on a CRT, basically what you want to do is you want to adjust this contrast. So first off, super high, so you can't see any of the scan lines on this top white square or rectangle. And then you're going to want to lower the contrast until the scan lines are the same size as the other rectangles. So yeah, I'm going to play around with this for just a second here. Okay, that looks pretty good for me. So yeah, you can see it's about what is that, a fourth of the way full. That's about where we put the Trinitron as well. Now in this Mitsubishi, the scan lines aren't as pronounced. You kind of have to get closer, but you can see them on this, the grayest level down here, and then up at the top are about the same size. Whereas before, when the contrast was up all the way, you couldn't see them at all. So yeah, it's important to lower the contrast on these CRTs because it'll actually extend the tube life. And then you can actually see this better on this TV than you can on the Trinitron. But yeah, you can see faint bars over here too. Those should be barely visible or not visible at all. And then same on this side. So yeah, I think this test is pretty good. So let's go on to the next one. Oh, and almost forgot. So I turned off the notch filter. This was on before, but yeah, it just the notch filter off makes things a little bit more crisp. I think it might have some artifacts on the screen as well, but I haven't. I'll test that more later. But yeah, I'm just gonna turn that off for these tests. So anyway, let's go on to this next test. So the color bars. Yeah, so on here we can look at the help. So yeah, this is basically just to adjust the black levels like it says here, same as the other test that we did, the plunge or whatever. Yeah, so yeah, and then it like how it says on here, you shouldn't be able to tell the rightmost box under F from the one to the left if the colors are set correctly. And yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Yeah, I'd say those are pretty similar on each of the colors. So yeah, I think we're pretty good on this one. Now one thing, I think, let's see, let's go in here again. I think it said, let's see, raise it until you cannot distinguish between the two blocks under F. Okay. Yeah, so I think, yeah, here it is. So with the pludge, the rectangles under the column, one column should be barely visible. Okay, so let's go back and check that real quick. Yeah, so see, so this is visible. So yeah, I think we're gonna have to lower the brightness on this TV. So let's go into the menu again, and let's see what the brightness is set at. So we'll go to standard. Okay, now see, now brightness is only halfway up. So see if we lower this. Yeah, so see, that's lowering it all the way down, and you still can, yeah, well, yeah, so now when it's lowered all the way down, now you can barely see this, but see, now that just doesn't seem right to me. It doesn't seem like we should have to lower it all the way down to have this correct. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually I am going to take off the back of this TV, and I'm going to adjust the screen knob potentiometer, and I'm going to lower the brightness back there because it's kind of ridiculous to have this all the way down just to have it be the right brightness level. So I'm going to do that real quick. Okay, so here we are to the back of the TV. I already took this off for another one of my videos. I change this, there we go, change the white balance back to auto. But yeah, I'm going to take out these few last screws here. I mentioned this in my other video, but listen to me. This is very important. Do not work on these CRTs unless you know what you're doing, okay? And just be very careful, because even when they're unplugged and turned off, they contain very high voltages. I've heard some people say that they can be lethal. Other people say it's just like a taser, but either way, it's a very unpleasant experience, and I've heard people get zapped across the room. So yeah, don't do this adjustment if you don't feel comfortable. That being said, the potentiometer is it's a plastic. It's coated with plastic, and I have an insulated screwdriver here, and you can actually get plastic screwdrivers too if you feel comfortable with that. But yeah, if you don't, then just lower the brightness with the menus, because you don't need to take apart the TV. This is just I'm just being obsessive. So all right, so now you can see I've taken off this this backing here. You also don't want to spend too much time back here, because these TVs they do emit X-rays. I think they might put lead or something in the front of the glass, I was reading. But yeah, you just don't want to spend too much time on the back here. But yeah, so you can see here, just for like general anatomy, not that I'm like an expert, but let's see, let me actually change the video settings so you can see better. Hold on. Okay, that's better. Alright, so yeah, so I'm far away from it, but that's the anode cap, and then it goes down here, and then right here is the fly box. So yeah, and then you can see, let me get down. I'm just keeping my distance because you don't want to get too close to this stuff. But yeah, so what we're gonna do is, so this top one is for the focus, and that's for the sharpness, and I adjusted that in the other video that I did. And then down here is the brightness, or they call it the screen. So yeah, let me grab my screwdriver real quick. Okay, and then back here at the front, forgot to mention this, so I actually set the brightness back to halfway. So yeah, anyway. So yeah, now I'm gonna grab my screwdriver right here. Okay, let's come back here. Let's see, hold on. Okay, Alright, so what I'm going to do is so these are just plastic. Yeah, so I'm going to take this and then I'm going to just turn it a little bit to the left. Okay, now let's go back and see if that turned down the brightness. Okay, so you can see, so that actually, it looks like it kind of messed up the way this is looking on here. So yeah, I'm gonna go change it back. Okay, let's go back the other way. All right, let's see what that looks like. Okay, it's looking pretty good here again. Okay, I'm going to try turning it a little bit more the other way. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Okay, so yeah, that didn't really seem like it made a difference. Yeah, I don't know, maybe I'll just lower the brightness to the setting or through the menu because I don't want to necessarily mess up the picture. So yeah, let's see, I think I'm just going to put it back the way it was. Okay, and actually before I set it back to the way it was before, I am just curious. I just want to see what happens. This is basically the way it was before, but I just want to see what happens when I yeah, so see, I can hear it making, I can hear it being more, I can hear the high-pitched noise more. Okay. Oh, let me change the shutter on here. Okay, so yeah, so that, yeah, that really made it way too bright. So yeah, I think where it was originally was pretty good, so I'm just gonna change it back. Okay, so I've gone back here and I've changed it back to the way it was originally, and yeah. Yeah, I would say what I should have done, which I didn't do, but I should have taken a picture of it before so that I could clearly tell where it was originally, but actually I was able to kind of tell too looking at the video, and also you can see there's like part of the paint or something that was melted off of this, maybe the whole high voltages, I don't know, but yeah, it's I was able to line that up too, so yeah, it should be back to normal. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty dusty in here. You can see on here too this, X-ray precautions. Yeah, you don't want to spend too much time back here. Yeah, it's pretty dusty. Yeah, I wish I had something to blow it all off. But yeah, let's go back to the front. Okay, so now that's done with. Yeah, so really, I guess the default settings were fine on that. So I'm just going to go back and I'm just going to turn down the brightness. So then, like it says in the instructions, under this one, it should be barely visible. And yep, that's the way it is. So I guess we'll just turn down the brightness all the way. All right, on to the next test. Okay, and I'm actually going to skip down to the sharpness just because then I just want to just check this sharpness one more time, so then if I need to adjust that potentiometer, then I can. Then I'll put the back on the TV. I don't like to leave it open. It's open right now. So, yeah. So I mean, really, it looks pretty sharp right now. It's yeah. I guess I can, while I have it open, I'll change it just so you can see what it looks like. But yeah, this is pretty sharp right now, I'd say. So let's go back. So now you can see this better. So yeah, so originally this focus potentiometer was actually a little bit up more. But yeah, it was basically just vertical. So yeah, you can see that on there. This is also a good reference for me. So if I need to go back, I can. So I'll just show you what it looks like when it's really out of focus. So you can actually turn it all the way this way. And that's as far as it goes. Let's see what that did to the screen. Okay, so yeah, I don't know if this is picking up on the camera, but yeah, it definitely is out of focus now. Let's just go back. Oh yeah, you can really tell here. Holy cow. Yeah, so if your TV looks like this, you probably want to go back and well, I don't know. I don't want to say anyone should go back there unless they know what they're doing, but if you're really careful and don't touch anything, then yeah, it can probably be an easy fix to fix the focus. But yeah, this was just an example. And now I'm going to turn it all the way the other way. Alright, so now you can see here, so I turned it all the way to the left. Now I'm going to turn it all the way to the right. So you think that this would make it look better, right, if this was so bad? Let's see what happens. So right about right here, a little bit more. Okay, so that's where it was originally, you know, like out of the factory. And then now I'm going to turn it all the way to the right. Make sure I got it all the way. I don't want to push like super hard either. I'm just making sure. There we go. A little bit more. Okay. Yep. So that's all the way to the right. So let's go see what that looks like. All right. So this is the potentiometer turned all the way to the right. And it looks better than all the way to the left, but it still looks blurry. So yeah, it's like it looks better than before, but it doesn't look as good as the way it was originally. So now let's put it back the way it was originally. Okay, here we are again. All right. And get in that groove. There we go. Oh, not quite. There we go. Okay. Pretty sure that's where it was originally. Let me just go check it real quick. Okay, this is turned back to the way it was originally. And yeah, you can see on here it looks a lot better now. So, yep, I think that's just the way it's going to be. Yeah. Yep, that looks pretty sharp, I'd say. Yep, everything's clearly readable. So, yep, just going to leave it like that. Okay, and I was actually looking back at my original video, and I was looking at it, and it was actually just slightly more to the left originally. So I'm just going to put it back that way. I was looking at it because you can see that there's a little black thing right there, a little black circle, and it was just a little bit to the left of that. So yeah, I don't know if a little tiny adjustment like that will make a difference, but I'm just going to look at it one more time, and if it looks good, I'm just going to box it up, call it a day. Alright, so there's that. Yeah, see, I think that looks pretty good. I guess for fun. Just see what it looks like compared to the Trinitron. I just don't want to have to take off that back again, so just make sure it's set to the right sharpness, and then we'll call it a day. Alright, yeah, so you can see it looks pretty good on the Trinitron there. Yep, and look over here at the Mitsubishi. Yep, looks pretty good. Alright, I think we're ready to put the back on. Okay, I just thought I'd show the switch text on here real quick. So yeah, I'd say it looks pretty sharp the way it is. Yeah, and then let's see here. Grab this controller. Yeah, it looks pretty good. So if you saw in the other video I did, yeah, before it was looking blurry because this notch filter was on. So yeah, when you turn it on, and see everything just gets a little bit more blurry, and compared to when you turn off. So this is off, on, off, on, off. Yeah, I'll be looking more into that later, but yeah, anyway, just wanted to bring that up. And I just thought I'd mention this. I put this back on. I'm gonna screw it all in, but I put these screws in the places where they would go on the back, just because I've noticed when I've taken apart other stuff, sometimes screws are made a little bit differently and then they don't fit in holes for other spots and just kind of make things wonky. So anyway, that's just a tip if you are going to take something apart. Again, I don't recommend it unless you feel comfortable and you take precautions. But yeah. Okay, got all the screws back on. Let's go over to the next test. Oh wait, hold on. Oh, I forgot one. Alright, I'm gonna have to find this. I'm not sure where this last screw went, or if there even was a screw here. But I can't find it, so... But I think it's okay because it's at the top here and it's in the middle. It doesn't really come loose too much, so yeah. I think the other ones are more important, so... Alright, on to the next test. Alright, turned off the TV before. When I was screwing that stuff back on, so now let's turn it back on. Let's see here, and I'm going to change the white balance again. Okay, white balance set to 56,000. Alright, so now let's go back up to where we left off. Let's see, we did the color bars, right? Oh no, we haven't done this one yet. Yeah, so this one's just for, yeah, just for testing colors. I guess we can look at what this says in the help here. Yeah, you can read that. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, you want to keep it in full RGB mode because that's what video games use. So yeah, I think you can change that with the A button. Yeah, so this is the way you want to keep it at 75, but yeah, I guess this is for other testing. What's important about this one, I mean, unless you actually have like equipment to test the colors, you just want to make sure that, I guess it doesn't really show up too much on here, but you just want to make sure that there are gray bars in here and they like barely show up at all or not at all. Otherwise your brightness might be a little too high. But yeah, we already adjusted the brightness before, so I think we're good on that. Alright, color bars with grayscale. Yeah, this is kind of the same thing. Just testing the colors. We can look at the help here. Yeah. Okay, and then next. Okay, color bleed. So this one's kind of cool. Oh, and you know what? Actually, that's right. I forgot. So this, let me turn on this Trinitron here again. the degosser, it's so powerful that it actually degosses the screen a little bit too when it turns on. But anyway, so this Mitsubishi TV, I've noticed that the default color setting is kind of low. Oh, what? That's not what I want to do. Yeah, so I'm actually going to turn up the color because, yeah, I feel like it's just not very vibrant right now. And from what I understand, you can turn this up and it doesn't really affect the life of your tube like the contrast does. But yeah, I feel like, in fact, I'm going to turn on this JVC as well over here just to compare it with that as well. Wait for that to warm up. Yeah. I kind of like it around here. That looks right to me. It looks a lot better than before. Yeah, and you can see over here on this JVC. Yeah, as I said in the other video, this one just appears to be calibrated correctly out of the box. It just looks great. So yeah. Yeah, I think the color looks pretty good on here too now. Yeah, it looks pretty good on the Trinitron as well. Let's see here. So then, yeah, let's go. We can look at the help thing. So the thing on this test though is you just want to make sure that you can clearly see, like there's lines between in the colors. Just double check, but I'm pretty sure that's what we're checking for on this. Yeah, color bleed. So yeah, you just want to make sure there's 1 pixel with black bars, which is actually kind of interesting. So if I turn on the, let's see here, the notch filter, Then it kind of bleeds together, and then when I turn it off, it's a lot more defined. So yeah, I don't know. Notch filters, I think, it's an electronic thing. It's not just for TVs, and it just like filters out noise and analog signals, from what I understand. But then the sharpness can be affected. So anyway, oh, I didn't mention this too, but this is going through a super video cable. So yeah, these are both super video, and then that one's composite. Okay, grid. Yeah, so this one looks pretty good. This red area is what would be the overscan. So a lot of games don't even draw out there. We can look at the help here too, so you can see it. But yeah. Anyway, and then also I like this test because you can see like if the bars are straight, so the geometry. This Mitsubishi has really good geometry. Everything looks really straight because it's a curved screen compared to this Wega, where you can see it kind of bends here. But yeah, and I guess it said you can push A to A. Yeah, puts white on the bars there. So oh, that's right. It said you could push A here too. Let's see what that does. Oh, so it just makes it so it's so instead of straight lines, they're little dots. Yeah, it's basically the same thing. Anyway, and then this is for the resolution of, what is it, Super Nintendo, PlayStation, Genesis? Yeah. Yep. So yeah, resolution for those systems. But yeah, it's the same thing as before. And then linearity. Okay, this is, so yeah, so on here, these circles should all be circles and not ovals. We can look at the help here. So yeah, so everything should be circles, and yep. Yeah. And then, yep. And this is the same thing. This is just the resolution for those other consoles. Gray ramp. Okay, so this one, there shouldn't be any like red or blue bias on this. It should just be black and white. So yeah, like it says here, you can do the tint control. Yeah, we already adjusted the contrast, and then it should get darker down here where it's hard to see the difference. But yeah, it looks pretty good on this Mitsubishi as well. Okay, and then this one, yeah, so this is where the what do you call it, the white balance is important, because yeah, if it's not set to high on the camera, then it looks blue instead of white. In fact, even now it kind of looks a little blue, but maybe I'll try to adjust it real quick. Yeah, this is, yeah, so when you're filming these, if you have a completely white screen, that's where you want to set the white balance, so then white should look white. So now this is at 62,000. It looks a little bit more to life, I guess. But you can see like it makes everything else look yellow or orange. Do I look like a Oompa Loompa? I don't know. All right. So anyway, and then was it the A button? Yeah. So then you can change the specific, red, green, and blue colors or values to yeah, make whatever color you want. And then when you push the R trigger, then it will change. This is black, and then red, green, blue, white. Oh, and this is edited. And I think the A button, yeah. And then let's see. Oh no. Okay, so X resets it. Or no, Y, I guess. Yeah. And then X, it looks like, turns it all the way down to whatever you're highlighting. So yeah, and then I'll show the help on here too, so you can see it. All right, and then this one. Okay, now this one, from what I remember, this is like, yeah, this is like testing composite signals or something like that. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, so you can change it to. Let's see. Yeah, so you can make it brighter till the little box goes away, and then Yeah, so that's pushing the R trigger, makes it brighter. Yep, and then A resets it. Sharpness, this is what we looked at before, which we already adjusted. Yep, looks pretty good. Yeah, I'm noticing there's like a blue, there's blue up there. It might be because I have a VHS tape right above there, and those VHS tapes are magnets. Magnets can mess up CRT screens. Not permanently, mind you. The degausser will probably fix it, and you can actually try to fix it yourself with magnets. But yeah, that might be why there's a little bit of color up there. So like you don't want to like put speakers on top of your TV. I've done that before, and then like the top of the TV has like a little rainbow type of thing going on there. So yeah, but I found that actually, and this is what I'm going to do again. But if you put speakers down here, for whatever reason, it doesn't affect it. And there's also big speakers right here. So yeah, anyway, just don't put speakers too close to your TV unless they're like shielded or something like that. All right, and then overscan. Oh, did I not show the help on that? I don't know. I guess you can. I can't remember if I showed this or not, but yeah, just to be complete, there's the help. Okay, and then overscan. All right, so this one's pretty cool because it shows how far away the overscan is on each, like from the top, right, bottom, left. We can look at the help here. Yeah, funny thing, I hadn't used this performance controller for like ever. And when I pushed this start button, it was like super hard to push. It was like sticky with dust, but yeah, now it works good. Okay, so yeah, so L and R triggers are just how you change the, so like for the top, so like if you push, keep pushing R, and then it shows how many pixels it takes until you can see, okay, see that? See, now you can see the top coming in, so that's where the overscan is. So now I'm going to push L to get it away. Okay, so now we can't see it anymore, so it looks like the top overscan is 9 pixels away, and then the bottom overscan, let's see how far away that one is. Oh, okay, I saw it. Okay, maybe like about right there, so about 8 pixels. Actually, let's just check this one. Yeah, I see about 9 pixels on that one. Maybe 8. Is it 8 or 9? Yeah, I think it's probably... Okay, and then let's go down to the left. Oh yeah, so see the left is like 0 pixels away, and then right is again 0. So yeah, it's actually kind of interesting. So when I did this test on the Trinitron, it was pretty, like the numbers were kind of all over the place. Like I think some of these were like 6. But yeah, the Mitsubishi is pretty, well, yeah, it's pretty even all around. Like this one is margin of error 8 or 9. Like I could probably put on 8. Yeah, so yeah, it's pretty even all around. Yeah, anyway, kind of interesting. Yeah, I've said this before, but I mean, these Trinitrons are good. I just don't think they live up to the hype that everyone, or like to the level that everyone puts them to. Yeah, because there definitely are other options that are very good. All right, so now we've done all the test patterns. So now let's go to this. Well, some of these, like I said before, they're specifically for digital flat screens. So like over here, I'm going to do this TD later probably. But yeah, so like this kind of stuff obviously works on a CRT. It's just like it just flashes this off and on really quickly, and then it makes it so it's like a transparency effect. But a lot of times on these digital TVs, it interprets this wrong, and it just like shows lines. Like a classic example is on Super Mario Kart, where like the shadow under Lakitu when he's holding up the like the 1, 2, 3 star or whatever. on a flat screen, it will actually show as just lines, and it will do it on this test too. I don't know if that's a class example. It's just something I noticed. But anyway, yeah, I think most of these are, yeah. So see, so this is what it would look like on a flat screen. Yeah, lag test. This is, yeah, kind of irrelevant for CRT because there is no lag. Yeah, most of these I'll do later. This one's kind of interesting. Yeah, so this one just shows like if there's any distortion when it's scrolling. Yeah, and I really don't see any on here. See, now I feel like I need to like lower the brightness or the white balance a little bit. I guess I'll leave it at what it was. Okay. Yeah, it's just like looking. Yeah, so that's the thing on these. I guess you can see it a little bit over here because I mean these tubes like they are round, and so yeah, they won't be perfect, but it's definitely emphasized on these flat screen CRTs. Like you can really see it go in and out over here. It's like the flat screens. It's like they emphasize the imperfections of CRTs, which I actually really like the imperfections. Maybe it's just nostalgia, but I think it looks cool, and I really like it. But yeah, I feel like these flat screen CRTs, it's like they came out in an era where it's like people started to think, the flat screens are cool and they want to, pay attention to, or they wanted to be like futuristic and have better geometry and stuff, which they actually don't have better geometry, but it was like flat screen is cool. But yeah, in retrospective, is like it was just a step to get to here, and I don't know. I think curved screens is where it's at. So yeah. Anyway, oh, and then I guess I can show the help on here. So yeah. And then what was it? A is pause, and then there's a way to change it. Yeah. So here's another game. Not sure what game this is, but yeah. Anyway, let's see here. Yeah, this is kind of the same thing. It's just that they're grids. See if there's anything else. Oh yeah, this one's kind of interesting. So just like seeing the scan lines and then the black lines in between the scan lines. You can make them smaller. Yeah. Oops. I guess I can show the help on that one. Yeah. Oh, it says something happens when you push the X button. Oh, it just changes. So these are horizontal and then vertical. So yeah, cool. All right, checkerboard. Yeah, kind of the same thing. There's this. I think this one, lights up all of the every single individual pixel. Let's just double check here. Yeah, all the visible pixels in an alternating white and black grid array. So yeah, it looks pretty good. And then that just makes it smaller. A makes it smaller. Oh, that's cool. X shows, I guess, the frames per second. Something like that. Yeah. Oh yeah, this one's kind of cool. So this one again is more relevant on a flat screen, because you can see there's like on a flat screen, it's very possible that there's backlit bleeding coming on through back behind here, unless it's like an OLED. But yeah, I kind of like this test though because it shows the ghosting on a CRT screen, which is cool. Just because I think what is it, like 20 milliseconds? It takes like 20 milliseconds for the the pixels to completely turn off. Or, well, they're not pixels, but like the electrons to leave the glass, basically. I think it was something like 20 milliseconds. So yeah, it's kind of cool because you can see that clearly here. You can see that ghosting. Yeah, I don't know. CRTs are so cool. It's the way they figure out this stuff. Diagonal test, yeah. Oh, I guess I keep on forgetting to show you guys the help. Yeah, you can pause the video and look at that. But yeah, diagonal tests. Look at the help on here. Yeah. Whoops, did I show it all? Okay, yeah, there's just one page. Yeah, and you can make it. Yeah, so you can. Yeah, you can see on there's little lines in between the white lines. Let's see, now there's a way to. Yeah, there's a way to make it spin. So the L&R moves it a little bit, and then pretty sure there's a way to make it spin too. I can't remember. Oh, it's just A. Okay. Yeah. Yep. So there's that. Okay. Yeah, and then this is another one that's more relevant for digital flat screens. Now this is kind of interesting. So up here, it looks like maybe it's that 1 pixel. Yeah, because it's like it's just cutting off just a tiny bit, whereas over here it's not. So yeah, like where it was 8 and 9, maybe it just needs to be moved down a little bit. I think you can do that in the service menu. I'm not really going to mess with it because so far it seems like I have gone into the service menu on this TV before, but I usually don't want to mess around with that stuff unless it's a real problem, because a lot of times these TVs are already calibrated correctly, and so you can. And if you do change something in the service menu, then make sure you like write down what the original value was or take a picture of it or something. So then if you need to change it back, you can. But yeah, I'm not going to mess with it because, yeah, usually that's not an issue of having stuff drawn up there. So, but yeah, anyway, this test is just switching between 240p and 480i. It's more relevant for these digital TVs because, yeah, they can have a lot of lag. But you can see here it's almost instantaneous. The switch. So yeah, and you're supposed to push the A button here when you see the 480i or 480p. But yeah, on here it's like it's so fast. It's just basically almost instantaneous. So yeah, I'll show the help on here. Okay, sound test. This one's pretty cool. So this one's especially cool if you have like, oh, now see, okay, I must not have my right, yeah, so see, so this one's actually good, so I must not have my right cable plugged in all the way or something. Let's see here, should be plugged in. Let's take a look at the back real quick. Yeah, this thing is kind of broken, but that's the left signal, so yeah, I see it is. I'm using all monster cables here too, for the most part. Let's see if it works now. Interesting. Okay, well, I don't know. I might have a sound problem on this TV. I usually use a surround system anyway, but yeah. Anyway, we'll look at this, and this does work on surround. Like if you have your surround system hooked up. Yeah, I'll have to look into why that right channel isn't working. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, and then you can put everything in 480i if you want, which you actually might have to do on these TVs so they show up, unless your TV can handle 240p. But 480i, so like on here it's really crisp, but then when you change it to 480i, since it's interlacing, it actually moves a little bit, so it's not as crisp, just because it's like it draws one line and then it draws the one right underneath it, and then it draws the like that, like it alternates like which lines it draws, so it's like it's constantly like this, whereas 240p is just like this, but then you can clearly see the black lines in between the scan lines. So yeah, that's why a lot of games go with 240p, and it's not so much a official like standard, it's more of like a cool trick on these CRTs, from what I've heard. But yeah, that's pretty much, yeah, there's settings in here. But yeah, I think this TV is pretty well calibrated. Yeah, and even just looking at, Sorry, my video cut out there for a second. But yeah, this Trinitron looks quite a bit darker than this TV. Yeah, kind of interesting. Yeah, quite a bit darker than this JVC as well. So anyway, the next video I'm going to do, now that these two TVs are calibrated according to this 240p test suite, is I'm going to pair them off with other tests now that we've looked at focus. And yeah, it'll be interesting. So stay tuned. Oh, and remember, don't mess around with CRTs in the back unless you are very cautious and you know what you're doing. Let a professional do it, or just don't mess with it. Alright, that's my last thing. Thanks for watching. And yeah, make sure you subscribe, I guess. And yeah, turn on notifications so you can get my next video. And yeah, it'll be fun. And let me know if you have any, I don't know, tests, or if you saw any corrections I need to make, whatever.